time to get out and play. AMSOIL delivers the ultimate protection for your vehicles and equipment. Fast, free shipping right to your door. Spend $100 and shipping is on us. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
Hi guys, the bike all jacked up here now, just to hang off the front end here. It's probably close to about where it's going to sit at too. So got some 8-over forks coming in. Curious to see how they work. They look like really good ones, so I'm waiting for the new ones to come in. They're supposed to be exact match to the originals though, so it should be good. So start ripping all this stuff off. All right guys, starting to unbolt everything. Went ahead and unbolted the headlight, be able to lift it up, and then unbolted this front shield in order to get to these bolts right here. So we can kind of move that around. And then it's a good idea to go ahead and break these loose with a big adjustable wrench, just so that they're loose. You don't have to clamp onto that, to the forks anywhere. You just use the stock clamps, break them loose before you take it out. And should be able to break these loose, slide the forks down and out of the way. I've already got the speedo cable undone. I'm gonna undo my brake lines, and I went ahead and got me some brake line extensions, some 8-inch extensions, to be able to bring those on down. Currently not working, so I've got some brake fluid coming in. But we're gonna pull these down, and then I can take all this stuff apart. So keep on going. Started to try and dismantle some of this wiring, and you can see it's pretty nasty looking. I don't know what the heck was done here. Whoever did this rewiring should not touch wires. So I don't know what the heck is going on. I gotta get rid of some stuff. All right, dudes. So we're back working on the Ironhead and getting rid of some stuff. So I went through and cleaned up all that wiring that was just flat awful looking. And now we're going to go ahead and take the bars off. We've already stripped them down and pull everything the rest of the way off. Gotta get that grip off of there. There you go, that looks pretty good. And then got some sweet TC Brothers rabbit ears. These things are gonna be awesome. All choppery chop. Sweet.
Killer. So,
pretty skinny, ain't it?
now keep in mind I'm 6'1", so I'm a long torso guy and I got long arms too. But
I got these tiny hands.
Killer with an 8-over front end.
Dude, it's gonna be lift up.
And we're gonna be like
And then it's gonna sit your hands down, probably into a more comfortable position. And what's crazy is rabbit bars, since you're effectively getting rid of the riser, which would normally be here, it makes it look like you've got really tall bars on it, but you don't.
What my honest favorite feature about this is too?
The foam wrapping.
Close. No, see, but they're still urethane mounted. This is in the days when Harley-Davidson started urethane mounting stuff, and if you're not a motorcycle guy and you're not a Harley guy, you don't realize how much these bikes vibrate and shake.
Yeah, for sure.
That's actually going to save you, honestly. It'll keep bolts.
Well, and you can switch those out to solid mounts, but it's really solid.
This is actually something you taught me, Gordon. The old bikes that didn't have urethane mounts would literally break.
Yep, you could snap it out of there.
Yep.
And as I've told y'all before on here, old school Harley aluminum, AMF aluminum, is not good aluminum. So
actually,
be careful.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken too, it's not just aluminum, it's an alloy. So it's like a mixture of mag too, which is really bad aluminum.
Yeah.
It's fine for strength, but you got to be careful tightening bolts too tight because you'll break it, or you'll also pull the threads out. It's porous. Cool stuff.
Let's pull some wrap off and see what they look like with controls. Then we'll rip this front end off. All right, guys. Check those out. All choppery chops. Rabbity. All right, went ahead and yanked the plugs out here. and you want to get these loose before you start loosening that up. Pretty finely threaded, and down in there fairly deep, there's a gasket on your O-ring, and then that'll allow it to go on down. And essentially that's what holds it in up here, is this big washer on here, big head. It holds it in, and then down here, that's the only thing that clamps to it, so that's kind of cool. All right, so everything's loosened up, everything's out. The springs in here, I've seen some where they're really spring loaded, and I guess if the front forks were down, they'd have more tension on them, so those are in there. Now these are actually tapered up in here, so this all bolts down and kind of tightens it together. So if you will, Greg, slide her down. I'm gonna try to help you. Twist the forks. There we go. Yeah, just twist the, there we go, look at that. There she's going. I think, oh,
there it is.
All right,
perfect
so
shot.
now we can get her on down, and then we'll have to jack it up a little bit more. So that means that it's gonna be much taller than that, because that gives us another, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches there.
Yeah,
we got double that. Bumblebee tuna. All right, so Greg's got the fork tubes pushed down, and he's pulling the spring up out of there.
Best thing to do is pull your fork tube up because it is filled with oil, and then pull your spring out. You might want to do it slowly so you don't actually pull oil out, let it run all out everywhere.
And we got this here.
This box to put in. And this is actually surprising because these seals appear to be factory, and both forks are still completely filled with oil. And she's out.
Sweet.
A little bit of oil on it.
Cool, so now we gotta drain those. And
so if you're just doing a seal and service, and you want to do it on the bike, which you can do, there's your plug right there. Because we have the front end off and are replacing the forks, we're probably just going to grab a drain pan and just flop the front end over in it and let it dump, because it'll pour out a whole lot easier.
all right, guys, get the wheel, the brakes off, and pulling the fender off now, and then we can start working on these individually. So we also got the seal kit here, a few things in here. Got them apart now. This really good Japanese steel here. Show of forks on there, and actually Showa makes pretty good stuff. This is one good thing that AMF did, was use Japanese parts. Greg is taking out the bottom bolt that goes to our plunger on the inside. There's our other
Here's
copper.
the magical part.
Dang it. It ain't gonna go nowhere though. Oh, look at that.
About all the oil's drained too.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Too bad.
Yeah. So you'll notice on here that
We'll grab that.
yeah, you'll notice on here that the chrome is not worn in. There's a couple spots right here, just dirty spots from where the seal has been sitting. But you'll notice that the new ones here, and we'll set these over here to drain some more. And then the brand new ones here, these are the hard chrome ones, and they make show chrome and hard chrome, and you want to get the hard chrome because the hard chrome is the same as a hydraulic cylinder for big industrial machines. That's what they do. They do the hard chroming process on here, which will not wear out. It's a smooth surface that stays clean as it's working. You don't want to get any scratches in it. So these right here are the exact copies of the stock ones, so completely, except for they're just longer. All right guys, so here is our shock part, I guess, of the fork, and I'm gonna take our dust cap off.
Very careful, because you usually don't get these in a seal kit. You
Yep.
don't want to hurt those.
Got to hang on to that, and you might have a chrome cover on top on some models. Now this is our seal clip. There, we're gonna pop that out, and you do get new ones of those. There's that. This is the new one here that comes in the kit. It's a little bit different design, but still good. And then there's our seal. Some models you can hammer them out a certain way. These doesn't seem like they would do that because the forks essentially just come out when they're not bolted, so you really can't use the fork to hammer itself. So we got to pry these out. Last time we got one side up, knocked the other side down, and on this one we're going to see if we can.
Not a pry bar, it's screwdriver.
Yeah.
This is a pry bar.
It's everything. It's the all-in-one tool. But you want to make sure you're careful that we don't worry about the seal, but that you don't scar anything really bad in here, because then it won't seal. So this is steel on these. That's the new one there. This is steel wrapped around. That's your gland there. It's going to pull all the oil back, and then inside here you can kind of see the spring up in there. All right, so we got one side of the seal up. The other side, we want to kind of knock it down just a little bit.
Again, this is to remove the seals. This is not driving in a new one.
Yeah.
If you whack a new seal like this, you will destroy it.
Completely wrong. But get it kind of in place. Just kind of knock this side down just a little bit. Yep. And then we're going to use this other side. See if we can pry it up out of there.
Up. We're almost there. So Jordan has made a dent in one side of the seal to deform it, and now, whoop!
Where did it go?
It flew away. It's gone.
Be free.
So now you can actually see he pulled it out, and this bottom ring, pull that out. That is actually the lower half of the seal, and these are steel. And that actually looks, that's brass.
Yeah. I don't know where the other half went.
And of course, your new seal right here will have that made to it. But again, these are metal.
The first thing we want to do, clean all that junk out with some brake fluid. It's all the way down in there. There's actually another little plunger piece down in here, which I think is called an oil gland or something along those lines.
Well, it's a spring rest.
Spring rest. All right, so here is our spring rest. That's a good name for it. We're gonna drop it on in, all the way down.
Flat side down.
Yeah. And then we've got our new seal here. I'm gonna make sure that that little seal there, the little ring is upwards. All right, guys, so I've got my seal pressed down. Now I'm gonna take my socket here, make sure I'm not touching any part of the inner part of the seal. Just kind of get it lined up as much as I can to the outer part here. Keep it steady. Work it down just a little bit here. Down into the groove. And what we want to do, work it down far enough that we can get the clip on. So now we've got the seal all the way down. We can see the little ridge in there. Now we're going to get our clip in. I'm actually going to get the back in first. All the way down. Then we're going to get one side of the clip over in. Come on. And then the other side of the clip. And you can use some tools, you know.
There you go.
Not manly.
Rock and roll. Snap, crackle, pop.
All right, so this is the old one. Our plunger's in there. So now we're going to dump it out. So go ahead and
From the top.
yeah.
From the top.
Go ahead and there you go. So now we're going to take that part. You go and just slide it down into the new tube, which is still wrapped up in the plastic here. There you go. And drop it down.
Nylon strips up.
Yep. I want it to poke through the other side. Now shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Hey, that went good. And now I've got a little plunger piece here. So we're gonna feed it into this piece and then work the whole tube down. And be careful on the seal. And then we're gonna see if we can get this to feed out the other side, or just go ahead and see if we can stick a bolt down in there. Now we're gonna take our new copper washer here. I'm just gonna, well, let me stick it on the bolt. And then we're gonna start threading it into the bottom of that plunger.
So, last piece we got to go on here is just your dust cover, and simple as this. On the top, work it over the fork on the bottom.
Snap that on there.
Check it out. This is fully compressed. So,
Oh! Oh!
we're getting shot at!
It's killing me.
This is full compressed, so what we're actually gonna have.
Woo, no. Oh. So they sell these fender type braces to go between the forks. This is literally the fender brace from the fender that was on here. I just drilled the rivets out. And Greg had a great idea. Let's go ahead and put this back on, and it pretty much lines us up. All right, that's where we're gonna be now. So luckily, we don't have springs or oil or anything in yet. So we're gonna get them in place, get them locked down. We're gonna put 10 ounces of oil in each one, or I think it's a cup and a quarter cup. And then we're going to slide the springs in, put the PVC spacers in, and then see what this thing looks like. All right guys, so what we're using in here is AMSOIL's 100% synthetic shock therapy. And this is the medium number 10. This is for Harleys. Now this is a fully synthetic oil, and it actually seems thin compared to what was in there, but this is gonna work much, much better. It works good in high heat conditions. It reduces less wear, it conditions the seals. This is the absolute way to go, and it's gonna be better on rebound, everything. So this is the one called for Harleys. So we're gonna put 10 ounces in each one. Luckily there is a gauge on the side here, or a measurement. What do you call these? What do you think?
It's just a unit of measurement.
Well, I know, but there's a they graduated. They're graduated cylinder. I didn't graduate it, so. So ounces. This is 32 ounces. We're gonna put 10 in, so I want to go from 32 down to 22, which is gonna be in the middle of 20 and 24.
Conveniently.
All right, guys. So now we're gonna drop our springs in. They should drop in pretty far.
It's gone.
It's gone. Hey, and we realized this thing actually had 2 over forks, but they never did put the spacers in, so it never did fully extend. But now we've got our super expensive spacers.
What people have used for years, because I know somebody's probably going to say that's dangerous.
Yeah, no, that's what everybody uses. It's just super simple and cheap. Oh, look at that. And that's it. Now it wants to hold tension.
Yep.
So now we're gonna have to work the cap down. All right, guys, there it is. That looks freaking crazy. So went ahead and added a pretty cool headlight. Made my own bracket off of the triple trees. And looks pretty sweet. Got one more little surprise. Now check this out. It sparkles. So this is was a LaPera bare bones seat for a 82 to like 2003 Sporty. Because the frame's pretty much the same, but it's just the solo seat. And all I gotta do is drill a hole and make me a tab right here, and then I can actually run this seat, which is gonna look pretty killer. It's a nice solo seat, and it's kind of 70s style with the vinyl I wrapped it with, and I think it came out pretty good. It's pretty awesome.